evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John. I'm alongside, as ever, Sean and Elazar, and collectively, we are the unit known as
Those Video Guys.
What a great show we have got for you this week. As always, we will be looking at the very best videos on the internet, the best new web series, some of the craziest viral videos in the Bitleys, and we will be discussing some of the top issues on the online, in the online industry of crazy internet stuff. Before that, Elazar, I know you've been a busy boy, haven't you? You went to the MCM Expo this weekend.
Well, I did actually, yes. And John and Sean was there as well, but we were on different days.
Yeah, he went on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And I went on the Saturday.
So we covered it.
Friday.
You know,
between
both
the two
ways.
of you, you were there the entire time.
Yep.
Yes.
Met some Brian Beacock.
Who
do you remember Brian?
Well, I remember him in his guise as Carol McCracken, the crazy internet web show host.
Yes, that's right.
Which got 3 cheers from us.
It certainly did. It was a great show. But he was there as himself, was he?
He was there as himself. Brian is also an actor,
Yeah.
obviously, but he does a lot of voice acting. And
Right.
so he was there because he's become very popular for his voice acting in various anime and manga.
All right.
Oh, really?
Because when obviously they translate from the Japanese and use American voices, he's one of the regulars on that.
Because that's why I like to go to MCM Expo. You've got all the teenage girls in their Sailor Moon costumes.
You're into a bit of cosplay, are you?
You like,
is that what it's called?
More the girls in their Sailor Moon costumes.
let's
say
not
more.
go
Say no more about it. We've been on the air less than 2 minutes. We've already.
But also, I met some guys. These were some guys from Cardiff in Wales,
Yeah.
and they've just produced a new British comedy superhero web series called The Splot Division.
Okay.
So just a shout out to the guys over there in Cardiff. Hello,
the Splot Division.
Guys.
Hello, Splot
there.
Division.
Cardiff.
If you're watching, so that'll be something we can review. And I think we're planning a British week very, very soon, maybe even next week.
Well, good, because I know there's a couple of things we've got lined up for that British
Indeed,
week. So
we
we look
will,
forward
yeah,
to slotting the
Splot
Division into that show.
Indeed.
Yes.
So a fun time was had by all.
Yeah, it was. It was a great event. And yes.
And Carol McCracken, did you get to talk to him about the show, or?
Brian, yes, no. Brian is a great fan of our show, obviously, and a big
he is.
supporter, and was obviously very pleased that we loved his show, and it was great to meet him in the flesh. You know,
Good stuff.
We do have an interview with him, which
We do, and it's when my computer, RIP, is fixed. We will get that onto our various channels as soon as we can.
we'll bring that on a future episode of Those Video Guys. But we have just launched today on our YouTube channel is another interview, so please look under uploads as well after our show. It's an interview with the director of Black Box TV. Do you remember reviewing Black Box TV?
I do remember it, actually.
Sort of supernatural, very suspense-filled, kind of Twilight Zone-ish type of series.
And we've got some interviews coming up soon with some of the cast of Goodnight Burbank.
Yes.
If that ever becomes available to people in England.
Was Black Box the one that had I, Justine in one episode? Or am I
It did.
It did.
Yes,
it
that's
did.
right. Yes.
Yeah, never forget an I, Justine.
Actually, I've never seen her. You keep on. It's a running joke between you guys.
I
It's
Justine.
got a joke. You need to check it out.
John will send you some of the Hawaii bikini video casts that she did. Yeah.
They're my favourites.
Tony Valenzuela, the director of Black Box TV, who we interviewed, he does actually talk about meeting I, Justine, and casting her in this series. So check it out. It's on our YouTube channel now.
So she was actually cast for the role. She didn't just get in on a phone. She actually had to read for the role, and
well, no, I'm not quite sure she had to audition for it.
Okay.
But no, he did. He likes the idea of casting people against what you would normally expect them to be.
I bet he does. Actually, no. To be fair,
because
she did show the full extent of her range.
And
she did.
She was not
and
bad.
She was good. And Sean,
good.
you're in for a big treat when you.
I'm looking forward to it.
One of the true pioneers of YouTube. I, Justine, if you're watching, and I know that you definitely are, all the best.
We want you on the show.
We would love you on the show. Just come on over.
These two guys want you on the show. I've got to see I, Justine first before I can.
Well, I think you'll have a good time.
For my opinion.
Let us move on to the first web series we are reviewing, Project Rant, a crazy YouTube-based project. Basically, real stories from places like Craigslist. Their submissions are read out by actors.
Now, I assume anybody in America is going to know. Well, is it whole? Does it cover the whole of America, Craigslist, or is it just? Because every time I'm in California, but people outside of America might not know what Craigslist.
Well, I don't know.
Craigslist over here, but if you're watching in the UK, it's kind of like the Gumtree, I guess you would say.
It's the equivalent of Gumtree. In the UK, you've got And because we reviewed, you guys reviewed Starvival, and
Yeah.
We did.
she did all those sort of
That's
responding
right. She
to
went to
adverts
the
on
crazy
Craigslist.
ads. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, yeah.
So this is basically people have vent their anger, they rant and rave, and they write their messages. And Project Rant, as a YouTube channel, they basically take those rants and put them into as scripts with actors, and they act them out. And here's a clip.
Get out. No, wait. I've had it. I have been listening non-stop for like 2 solid months, almost every day, to my friend's marital and family drama. It stops now, every day. She calls me completely uninterested in anything that's going on in my world. You know, just the basic, insincere, what are you doing? Get the little phony greetings out of the way as soon as possible, so we can just jump right into your latest chapter of your self-created, self-centered drama. I am just another number on her drama speed dial. You know, as soon as someone else beeps in from her drama club.
So that should give you some idea of the kind of thing. There's actually
tons of them on
there
there.
are. I think
There's
about
literally
150
it's
or
like
so.
over-
Yeah.
150 to just go on. It's like an elephant orgasm.
Yeah,
It
and
just
of course,
go on and on and on and
you know,
on.
Is it? Is it like an elephant orgasm?
And they cover every subject, you know, from like having to tip the waiter,
Yeah.
you know, neighbours, just people at work that are not, you know, it's everything that you can think of. And of course, they do it from also submissions. If people actually post their own ideas,
Yeah.
please do a rant about this.
I do actually. The ones I do prefer the idea of that somebody's just gone on Craigslist and just done a rant about something, and then suddenly some actor is performing it on. I mean, I think that's when somebody's actually submitted something to them. It doesn't quite have that same.
Yeah, no,
when
sure.
they've randomly chosen something, I just think
There's a really
subversive
there's a
about
great
it.
episode which is a rant about YouTube comments,
Oh yeah.
and it's basically they've got a whole bunch of actors reading out all the hate mail that they get on the YouTube
YouTube.
comments for their channel.
Yeah, we
Well,
could
it's
probably.
good.
People
we should
ranting
get
about
Re-
Project Rant.
We should get Rebecca Black doing that one then.
She would certainly know a little bit about that. Yep, good stuff there, Project Rant.
You know what? It's a fun series. You know, they're like 90 seconds long. They're very short. You know, you can watch them in the middle of. Hey, if you've got something that's really annoys you that particular day, you can actually just look up the Project Rant for that particular subject and then watch it, and hopefully that might just ease away some of your tension.
It is a bit weird though, because I thought Craigslist was mainly for trying to find a new flatmate or roommate or hiring prostitutes, but apparently there's a whole
I know nothing
new
about
side to it
that
that
side,
I've never
that, you know,
whole
but-
new side to the show that I've never come across. So Craigslist, check that out. And
Yeah.
Project Rant. What would you guys rant about if you were going to put a rant on?
Oh wow! People who walk really, really slowly on Oxford Street when you're trying to get somewhere
had that
really,
this afternoon.
really quickly.
That's just
people
my
who-
mum actually.
Who,
I think.
when you're in the supermarket and you're queuing up to buy something, they wait until everything's been checked through,
And they won't-
then they pack their bags, and then they wait until then to get their money out, and then they take forever, and you're just waiting there. You just go, why don't you get your money out while you go?
And people who stand on the left on the underground,
on the
Oh, no, on the
on the tube, yeah.
yeah. All
So
good.
perhaps Project Rant, we could suggest they do a British week of all the British rants.
Yes.
Perhaps they could, yeah. So when you don't get enough steak in your steak and kidney pudding or something, but I don't know. Nothing makes me mad. I think I'm pretty laid back. Although my laptop died.
When they
made me pretty
cancelled
Oh
upset.
well, there you go.
And
yeah.
when they cancelled Alf, yeah. In fact, thinking about I lost my bike light today. That came off while I was cycling, and pretty much, I'm a mess at the moment. I think my rant would go on for more than 2 minutes.
But I enjoy Project Rant, and I will
Yes.
give it a cheers.
It's a fun show, and we do happily
You've got a
cheer
lot
it.
to choose from on it.
150 plus episodes. If there's anything you don't like, I'm sure you can find a rant about it there. With that in mind, time for Those Video Guys Top 5 Viral Video Chart. The Bitleys, why not? We'll call them
Yes.
the Bitleys. These are the top 5 tweeted and most retweeted videos and kind of crazy clips of stuff that has happened
People have
in the
been
week.
sending each other in
Indeed.
links over emails
Indeed.
and so forth.
Office workers of the world unite to
Yes.
waste 2 minutes of your time. What is it, number 5? Well, it can't have escaped your notice.
I'll take
One of escape you notice if you live in the UK like we do. A rat was behind that came over here today.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's
car
the
stall.
5 minutes of waiting for a car stuck at a gate.
I've seen more interesting videos, I'll be honest.
People are retweeting it. They somehow think it's funny. I don't know why.
Because it's Obama.
Did you
Because
retweet
it's
this?
Obama,
I don't know. Let us know why you retweeted it.
He's actually a funny guy who's made funny videos himself. We saw his speech at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That was a properly amusing video.
Who's the guy who does the American Apprentice?
Donald Trump. Yeah.
He's the one who's been retweeting it.
I bet it is actually old Trump, because he got roasted, didn't he? He got roasted at
did.
the Correspondents' Dinner. So perhaps Donald Trump is why that has got so high in the Bitleys. But number 4, puppy time lapse from 8 weeks to a year. And this is a cute vid. This is cute.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Yeah.
I don't even like dogs. I've made that quite clear.
It's-
I've dated a few.
They've taken a photo every single day from 8 weeks up until a year, and they just put them together in time-lapse photography. And actually getting the dog to always sort of sit in the same
In
place
roughly the same place.
for the photograph.
Yeah.
That was pretty much been a job in itself.
Yeah,
yes.
I know. He's a very well-behaved puppy, I have to
We've
say.
seen one with like a kid, like a little girl.
We did.
haven't
We did
That
see
was a
that.
while ago.
Yeah, Natalie, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
And that went up to what, 4 or 5 years old or
I
something?
think so. Yeah. God, that's a
I wonder if it's
major
still going.
undertaking.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah.
To remember to have and to actually be bothered every single day,
Yeah.
you have to
But
get
I
that
just think
photo.
once you've started doing it, after a week or so, once you're there, once you're committed, you just got to keep on going.
Indeed. Number 3 in the Bitleys, the biggest domino pyramid ever. This is pretty cool, actually. Let's have a look at this one. A bit of it. Do they knock it down at the end?
I'm not quite sure. They do come down at the end, but I'm not quite sure it was intentional.
Really?
Because when it comes down, he's got his head in his hands.
My life's work ruined. Yeah.
I get your ukulele obsession.
Mm-hmm.
What's you with all these domino clips? Are you on shows?
Well, dominoes are just fascinating because the way
they're
they
not, they're
tumble
bloody
and
boring.
Dominoes are just 2 old men in a pub in Yorkshire.
Yes.
That's what dominoes
You
are.
hit the nail on the head there.
What's number 2? Oh, the new death-defying Australian phrase,
Lots of people
planking.
have died doing this.
Now to the new craze that has some people stiffening their bodies and others just scratching their heads. But police are warning about the risks of planking after a man was charged for striking the pose on a police car.
It's simple enough to join in. There are only a few basic rules to follow. After lying face down, expressionless,
And what's really funny about that is actually, when you first watch it, you actually think it's like the Onion News Network spoof.
Spoof, yeah, it did look like a
But
spoof.
actually, that's a real. It's a real
in
craze.
Australia.
People
And
lying
are being-
down.
yes,
Lying down straight, and the
sleep looking like a plank.
Unbelievable. It takes all
and people are trying
sorts.
to outplank each other
How?
because they're just a bunch of planks.
Well, there's been 1 or 2 people who've actually fallen off buildings and
To their
died.
death.
And then someone
They're
got.
planking.
And this particular
Planking.
story happened on the news because someone got arrested for planking because they chose to plank on a police car, and the policeman took exception to
I'm
this.
sure they would.
As they probably would.
Indeed, you can't plank in public,
No.
as I found to my cost on more than one occasion.
Are you a public planker?
I have been known to plank in public. I think. We talking about planking. That's an enjoyable video, planking. Why not go home and try it out this evening? For about 8 hours in bed. That's what I find I tend to do. Number 1, Chewbacca and the Ewoks dancing to Guns and Roses.
Good old Chew. I mean, we always knew Chewbacca was the coolest character on Star Wars, and what more proof do you need?
Indeed.
He actually did look quite like Axel. I don't know if he had a wig on or not, but he actually
Okay,
did have the.
Maybe that is Axel after he hasn't shaved.
But he
for a
had
bit.
some moves on him, didn't he?
He
He did have some moves.
And he was introduced by the band from the Cantina band.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed them at the very start of the video as well.
Right.
So there's a whole bunch of Star Wars characters there. That one is making around amongst all the Star Wars fanatics on Twitter.
Well, everybody's a Star Wars. Star
course.
Wars. It's
You know,
one of those things.
you have-
Everybody is secretly a
if-
Star
well,
Wars fan.
if that
I'll
comes
say
to
that,
your-
apart from me, I'll admit now, I I didn't see the Star Wars films until my mid-20s. That was when I saw them. I
That's
still
just a
haven't seen the new
crime.
ones.
I think you should take your parents to court about it.
Possibly. I should sue my parents for
You
a
should
lost
sue your
childhood.
parents.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Does anyone agree? Let us know in the comments
I'll
box.
be honest, I didn't.
It's actually a form. Not showing your kids Star Wars is actually a form of child abuse.
A form of
Probably.
neglect.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But I'll be honest. When I did see them, I didn't much care for them.
That's
I
because
honestly
you
didn't
obviously
care
watched
for
them too late. Any Star Wars fans in the chat rooms?
Well, Barry Aldridge says he loves a bit of Chewie.
Certainly does. Yeah, we saw Barry as well. Hi, Barry out there. He hosted Talking Who a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
He did. Yes, he was
So,
our very first guest host on
Yeah.
on Talking Who. So it was very good.
Guys, we've got a few more shows that we're going to tweet.
Yep.
We're going to talk about. But before that, we should of course say it's an interactive show. We've got the live comments in the YouTube page.
Any?
Elazar's monitoring.
Blood and Bone China. They're showing their love for Star Wars here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying you should sue your parents.
Yeah.
Perhaps I will. Perhaps I will. Yeah.
Any Ustream comments?
We've got the Ustream page open as
There's
well.
only 2 people in Ustream.
Oh, everyone's
actually.
watching us on.
Got Elizabeth and BW Hips.
Brad.
That's Brad.
Oh, Brad.
Hello, Brad on
Hello,
Ustream.
the Bradmeister. And Brent Spiner lookalike Brad Wyman is out there, and he's a big Star Wars fan. So
Well,
He
who
must be.
isn't? Everybody is.
But he's also a barbed wire fan, according to you.
And this is for Elizabeth.
I bet he is. What does it say? Doctor Doom.
Yes.
Is that one of your comic book fellas?
He's my role model in life.
Is he? Is he?
We
Yes.
did discuss this last
We
week,
certainly
and we
did,
thought
actually.
that we decided that Doctor Doom was not a good role model to
He's a
have.
Definitely not a
brilliant
good role model.
role model.
That's like having Hitler as a role
No,
model.
it's nothing
Is it?
like Hitler.
Is it like having Hitler's role model?
It's like
Well, Dr.
Alexander
Doom,
the Great or
He just
Julius
wants to take
Caesar.
over the world all the time
Yeah,
with his-
well, and make
with
it
his-
a better place.
with his Doom bots.
Is Doctor Doom? Is he all bad?
No,
Yes,
of course he's not.
Maybe.
he's 100% bad.
100% evil. Okay. But like I was saying, we've got those two. You know, we've got Ustream, we've got
Yeah.
YouTube. Plus, we're on Twitter. Follow us at those video guys. I've got the iPad
It's
in
an
front
iPad,
of me
yes.
with the tweets up there. So do tweet us, and we'll read them out as well. And guys, you know, after we've reviewed the next couple of web series, it's the Q&A session. So any questions or comments, please, send them our way.
Still on?
Guys, we're still on. Are we still broadcasting?
Well,
we are. Yeah, we are.
I think we are.
So it's
I think
just
we
my
are.
bloody computer.
As
to
we were saying,
refresh.
Elazar, we've also got our interactive details up. Can we get them back on the screen? YouTube, follow us at Those Video Guys TV. Twitter, at Those Video Guys. Facebook, / Those Video Guys. And a poodle in a...
It's a website. It's a world.
ThoseVideoGuys.tv. It's our website. That's what it is. I thought it was a poodle in a little
It's not. It's
blue
Africa.
balloon.
That's Africa.
It's Africa. Of
It
course
does.
it
It
is.
does actually look like a little poodle.
Of course it is.
Whoa.
Well, I've just been reading a book about a poodle, so I've got them on the brain. Yeah, I have. But
I'm trying to read Game of Thrones at the moment.
Oh, really? Well, I
While
think it's just
watching
not
it
on
at the same
TV,
time.
Yeah, no, but I'm just.
Isn't that a bit confusing?
No, I'm making sure I'm just behind the actually on TV.
Well, anyway, we're of course all on Twitter. Elazar is Elicab. I'm John Atkins III, and Sean Harry is Sean Harry. So
Yes.
follow us all, and we love to tweet. We just love to tweet. We can't get enough of it. So do follow us, and we'll probably follow you back if we like you. Guys, we've got a couple more web series to review. The next one of which is Experience the Colorado Trail. 6 episodes to date. Let's have a look at a clip of one of them.
Looks like they've got quite the life and quite the space to live. And about a herd of 20 or so. Just up the hill. Cattle.
Finally, we're getting a view of some mountains with snow.
Wow. See if we get some.
Amazing, huh? Yeah. This might be my favorite one so far, though.
Yeah. Those mountains out there we were looking at before.
It's a documentary. It's real life. It's real people. And have you got anything to say about it?
Well, we've not done a sort of a factual web series.
Not for a while.
I think
Not
since
for a while.
almost like episode 3 when we did
The
In
first
Transit.
one. Yeah, yeah.
The guy who travelled around Mexico.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is another travelogue style, and it's it's like a video diary essentially of 2 guys hiking the Colorado Trail, and it's I don't think it was quite as fascinating as In Transit. In Transit, to me, out of the 2 of them, was more interesting. But that's because he had people to interact with.
Mm-hmm.
But this
is a very solitary.
This is more solitary.
I thought this was very much the kind of thing that if you did, you'd want to show your friends or your family, just like your holiday snaps or something. And because if it's somebody you've got a connection with, then you'd find it interesting. But otherwise, I just felt kind of disconnected from it.
I think they've been obviously doing daily video diaries. I think probably the fault is probably more in the editing, but then there's probably not that much to edit. It's just two guys walking
in a straight line,
and you just want to see, the vistas, the views, and there is some of that, but because it's kind of like with a low resolution camera, it's not proper high definition. You're not necessarily getting the beauty of the vistas that you would expect.
You're not, but that did make it seem a bit more real to me. One of my criticisms of things like In Transit, which I did find very entertaining, is that it still seemed a little bit set up. It didn't seem 100% authentic. And I think the guy actually did tweet us and say it was completely authentic, but it just when there's like multi-cameras and it's all high def, I can't help but think, well, hang on a sec, I know you had to go back and get the cameraman.
With this, I almost felt like I was just watching somebody's home movies.
Well, quite,
and then as Elazar was saying, the whole appeal of something like this, when you're going to be seeing, the Colorado, is you want to see good, epic footage of the landscapes, and this isn't really presenting this, so...
There's 6 episodes to date. How long is each episode roughly? Is it 10?
They're like 3 or 4 minutes.
3 or 4 minutes.
I mean, they're very short. Yeah.
So there's not too much time, and as the guy.
But it's nice that there's something different to see, from web series, because it's it's actually hard to find
new original things.
but
it is
but not necessarily original, but factual reality as opposed to scripted web series.
Yeah. So it's certainly worth checking.
I prefer scripted stuff, though.
Well, I can understand that, but if you have got an interest in the Colorado Trail, or it's something you've sort of thought about doing, or have done yourself, or just want to find out more about, then it's certainly worth checking out. The address is youtube.com/exp the Colorado Trail, short for explore the Colorado
Experience.
Trail. Oh, experience, of course. Sorry, yeah. And that will be up. We'll tweet that and put it on our Poodle website later on tonight. There are 6 episodes today.
Poodles.
Certainly have. Does that mean there are more in the pipeline, or is he going to experience any other?
Well, I think the way they
Oregon Trail,
maybe because of the way they do the logo for Experience and then the Colorado Trail is separate. It looks like as if this could be the start of a series of different
other
experiences. Yeah,
perhaps. Good. Well, I look forward to seeing what the guy has to offer in the future, and who knows? Maybe he'll upgrade. Maybe he'll take some of these criticisms on board in a positive way, and his future voyages will be a little bit more entertaining to watch. Because they're certainly very worthy, but it would just be nice to be a little bit more entertaining. Nonetheless, I'm certainly happy to give it a cheer. You don't have to, but I think I'm a big American fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a half cheer.
And Sean, I can see you're not raising your glass, but that's fine. That's okay. I'm going to have a sip of this as well.
Damn good.
Delicious. Experience the Colorado Trail. 2 cheers out of 3, which is a perfectly respectable score. And finally, sandsofmexico.com with the new series Sands of Mexico. Again, another 6-episode web series. And have we got a clip? Have we got a trailer for this? Or
we do. We've got the trailer.
Let's have a look at the trailer.
To Mexico.
To graduating.
To alcohol.
So, are you excited to go snorkeling tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm nervous. Haven't been a really long time.
Watch out for sharks. They're really big. I'm kidding. Probably want a cigarette? Probably want a drink.
soundsofmexico.net or .com. I'm assuming both, possibly, but
one of those is wrong.
Okay,
but yeah.
But either way,
we'll sort it out.
Mexico,
We'll definitely sort it out.
Yeah.
By the time.
Sean, you've seen these. Can you just tell us a little bit about it?
I thought it was okay.
Well, the story is about a guy who has this villa in Mexico and invites his friends at the start, and they leave, and then his cousin, who's just come back from Afghanistan, arrives as well. This is I would probably say this is probably our first sort of art house drama series, because it's you certainly can't probably put it in the same kind of pigeonhole as you can some of the other things. So again, this is something very different, but wow, what a location!
Yeah.
It's just,
what I
stunning.
did like about it is you really did get a sense of place.
Absolutely, yeah.
In that, you really in terms of their photography and everything, they made good use of the location and really give a sense of you are there and the whole vistas and everything of Mexico. So.
Indeed, I mean that trailer looks stunning, didn't it?
Yes,
really,
absolutely,
really
and it's 6 episodes of this first season.
Does that mean there's a second season?
There's planning for a second season, but it's storyline wise, probably not everyone's cup of tea. It takes its time. These are 10-minute episodes, so they are longer.
What they're really trying to do is establish. They're quite establishing place and also establishing character.
Yeah, it's very much a character-driven story. This one, and it's everything is. It's not in your face. It's much more subtle. You needed to sort of really appreciate the story really on different levels, and it's probably one of those web series that you wouldn't probably need to watch it maybe 2 or 3 times to really get it. I think to sort of understand the characters, because it is far more subtle. The way things move, and I don't really want to give away, but there's a bubbling
story
love plot, but if you read it properly, things aren't quite as simple as they try and lay it out, and it's
so you can watch it once and enjoy it, but there's more to explore if you stick with it. 6 episodes. How long is each episode?
They're around about 8-10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
okay,
so
it's
longer
an
than
hour.
your average
Yeah.
your web series, definitely.
But still, very comfortable watch on the internet, an enjoyable thing to watch. And did you say more in the pipeline, or?
I think they're planning to.
They're planning on a second series.
Good. Well, I think we'll stick with that. If they do a second series, we'll have a look for that.
But again, different, because it's a location.
It's
they're
shot
on
location,
location,
indeed, yeah.
and it's.
And the thing is, they make very good use of the location.
Yeah,
That's
the photography
is really well shot.
It's really it's beautiful.
The shots of the guy in the water and stuff. That was like a cut above your average.
And the villa that they have in this is just a beautiful place. I mean, it's like, wow. Can I just go there on holiday, please? Because I would absolutely love to stay there.
So quite a budget for that, do you think? Or
I think they've probably had a bit more of a budget than a lot of the web series that we've reviewed. I know they probably spent around 30,000
of their own money
on the whole series.
Yeah.
So the average, it's the equivalent, I think, of a branded web series budget, as opposed to a sort of no budget web series that we've reviewed quite often.
Sure. Well, it looks beautiful. A lot of fun. Yeah, well, an interesting show. Not necessarily fun, but enjoyable.
It's enjoyable, but again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I mean, you have to. I mean, I'm saying it is art house. It is, it's drama, and it. Not everyone really wants to see it. They want to see
the trailer gives you a good idea of what it's like.
Absolutely.
And if you thought that was kind of quite intriguing, as I did, then I think it's something you're going to want to check out
and
explore. That Sounds of Mexico. I'm going to certainly give that a cheer, because it's something I'd like to find out more about.
Yeah.
So that's 3 cheers again for Sounds of Mexico. Congratulations, and check it out. soundsofmexico.com, possibly .net, but either way, Google it and you will find it, and we'll put all our links, all the videos, including the bit.lys, we'll put them up on our website later today as well. Guys, we've reviewed all of our series, which means it's time for us to talk what's hot on the net. And the big story this week in the internet world, Blip.TV, the new pretender to the throne, potentially, has added the likes of Fred, Annoying Orange, iJustine to its collective.
Freddie Wong.
Freddie Wong, he's going to be there.
The collective is the, I think it's an agency that represents all these talents, and it's this agency that's done a deal with Blip TV.
These guys are stars of YouTube, as you'll know.
Huge
They're
stars,
YouTube pioneers. A lot of them make their living, or certainly make a healthy chunk of money on YouTube, and they've basically been how should we say, they've been swayed to the other side. So this new upstart.
Reminds me of a few years back when Microsoft bought over the Guild.
The Guild, right?
So that would appear exclusively initially on Xbox Live.
I hear you.
And so you've got another thing where Blip TV is basically trying to launch itself. So what better way than getting the most popular YouTube shows you're used to watching on YouTube? If they're going to be on Blip TV, well, then you're more likely to watch it.
I do wonder though. I mean, YouTube is so sort of entrenched in popular culture.
It's
become a verb like Google.
Yeah.
Has, and I do wonder, like, if someone started up.
I remember when Google came along, YouTube had Yahoo had been around, and I've been using Yahoo for like probably about 5 years.
I changed to Google overnight.
Literally, and it's the same also with Firefox for me over Explorer. I've been using Firefox. I've been using Explorer for like 10 years, and suddenly Firefox came along. So it is possible to launch something. You have to get people to try it. You've got to have a better system. You've got to get people to try it.
But again, these guys as well, they're not leaving YouTube.
No,
they're only going to be also available on Blip.TV.
Yeah, but it's still a way. If you're not going to, it doesn't matter how good your system is. If you don't have the content, people aren't going to try it out.
But as part of this, they're also investing in these guys as well.
They are paying them cash money, I think.
And Fred is going to be producing an animated series in association with Blip TV.
Okay.
And also they're also investing in a web series with Freddie Wong. You know, we've seen Freddie's videos and they're great. But what he doesn't have is that sort of regular web series link that somehow puts all his videos together. They're just short sketches with lots of special effects. And now here's someone who's saying, here's the money, go out and do something with a budget.
The one thing that just surprised me, if they're giving them money, I would have thought they would have said, fine, we'll give you some money and we want you exclusively on Blip
Exactly,
TV.
I would have thought that as well.
Or we want a window of
yeah, sure.
Or something like that, which, you know, if they haven't done that, actually I'm kind of glad it's still on. You know, I'm all for it being available all over the place, but I'm just saying from their own business model, that doesn't sound quite...
That's what seemed to be missing in the press release, is that there doesn't appear to be any kind of exclusivity on any of the new things.
And I would have thought that something like this might have maybe made YouTube sit up and perhaps make a counter offer to these guys and say
YouTube doesn't need to at the moment.
Well, it doesn't need to. Well, yeah, it doesn't need to, and that's because that's
actually, from what I understand, that YouTube is actually currently saving up as much money as it can to keep Talking Who exclusive
to YouTube. It's a YouTube exclusive.
Yes,
perhaps it is.
And you know, I'll take $10 with there.
I'm sure it wouldn't take much, but we got to comment about that as well. We should have someone from Blip.
So what Vampire Mob is saying is just an additional distribution platform.
Yeah.
They're also saying we should have someone from Blip on the show.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have a chat with them. Someone on YouTube wants to come along. We'll have a chat with them.
It's interesting times, but again, like I say, I do wonder what difference it'll make, because people are so entrenched in, you know, YouTube is what you do when you want to look at a video on the internet. You go to YouTube.
If these guys can bring more viewers to Blip, so that people know about Blip, they watch other things that are on Blip. It might mean that Blip can do deals with new producers for exclusive content.
Well, I hope they've got...
And maybe some of the guys that, for instance, we've reviewed,
sure,
you know, who are producing stuff, who are on Blip already, will have deals with Blip where it's like, here's an exclusive, invest in our series.
But as I also said, just look at Yahoo to Google, or look at MySpace and then Facebook, and look at Internet Explorer and Firefox.
I think with all
you
those...
could be using a platform for decades, and overnight something that still stops something over. So, you know, I haven't tried Blip TV.
Exactly.
I'm going to have a look at it tonight. It could be a better platform. If it's only equal to YouTube, or if it's not.
Well,
as
we
good
did
as
actually.
YouTube,
remember when we did the pilots reviews?
Right.
All those videos were on Blip TV,
right.
And actually, it's quite a smooth platform. I mean,
it
doesn't seem to buffer as much as YouTube does.
You know, if it's a better platform, then if you can get people to try it out, and if they stick with it, you could have overnight.
That's
so
what it's
in a
about.
year's
It's about
time,
the
it could be
it's
all-
about the platform. It's about the interface. It's about how user friendly it is. I think because
But I also think the other thing YouTube's got going through it is their name. YouTube.
Yeah.
It's kind of like naughty. It's almost naughty sounding.
YouTube. How is it naughty sounding?
Just
I don't think I want to know.
Sounds almost naughty.
What I will say, it's not to do with the content. It's to do with the usability. Because, and I'll bring this up, and maybe I shouldn't do. We're on YTV, but when Charles Sheen had a show on Ustream.
Yeah,
for
Sheen's
a short
Corner.
while, Sheen's Corner. You know, the eyes of the world were on Ustream, and they didn't like what they saw because the second Sheen left Ustream, no one thought, "I'm going to hang around. This is such an enjoyable and user-friendly website.
No.
I can't wait to see what's on
The
it."
thing with Ustream is because it's live TV, you still got to have people doing constant new products for it, you know, and
That's true, but it's still very hard to just navigate from A to B and to find related content and to.
I've got a couple of comments here. Now, with Vampire Mob has obviously checked out, and it's saying the interactivity on Blip TV is nowhere near as good as it is on YouTube.
Well, that's true.
There's no closed captioning.
Well, of course,
Blip
yeah,
TV.
that's important as well for those of hard of hearing.
They're saying that their show is on YouTube with French and German subtitles,
and also
they've got one episode in Klingon.
And I haven't seen anything on Blip that has got Klingon subtitles.
You can't get Klingon subtitles on Blip.
Well, that's what they should be spending their money on. Forget Fred and Annoying Orange. Get Klingon subtitles.
Then you might be what language did Alf talk?
He spoke Melmacian.
Melmacian.
Well, that was certainly the planet was Melmac. I assume the language was Melmacian. I think it was.
Is it in Klingon characters? I wonder. Vampire Mob, is it in Klingon characters or is it in English characters? Because I think if it's not in Klingon characters, that's quite offensive to Klingons.
Well, but who's it for? Who is it? Are the Klingons going to be do the Klingons enjoy? Any Klingons watching? Do you like YouTube or Blip TV?
Whereas in Ustream we have Sloopy John who says, "Who cares about the Germans and the French?"
Well, we do because we're in Europe.
We love them. We love them. Yeah, we love the Germans. And the French. Well, they're okay.
We're in Europe.
Or Sloopy John also says, "Alf, that was a good show."
It was a good show. So perhaps there's another guy on board for the Talking Alf spin-off. We've got Talking Who coming up very shortly. You guys are going to be looking at this week's episode and a few other bits and pieces.
Indeed, yeah.
But of course, if you're interested, Talking Alf, it might be a potential Those Video Guys spin-off.
Why don't you? Why don't you tweet us?
Why did I tweet it?
Tweet us. There's John's Twitter right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tweet him if there's enough. If there's enough interest in Talking Alf.
Who am I to?
It could be a one-off, 1 hour special.
Barry Aldridge loves the Talking Alf idea.
He loves the Talking Alf idea. Well, he was there for the very genesis of it, so he's obviously very emotionally vested, and hopefully we'll be there. And actually, talking of YTV spin-offs, once my computer is fixed and it is under warranty, it's going to be off for a couple of weeks, and then fingers crossed it'll be back better than ever. I am looking into a new ukulele-based project. I will say no more about that at the moment.
Talking ukulele?
Well, I think it's going to be actually something along the lines of the John Atkins midnight ukulele pajama party.
I'm thinking of doing a ukulele show, smashing ukuleles.
Well,
did you actually see there was a news? I thought there was a newspaper article. Ukuleles are taking off huge at the moment.
I did hear that. My sister told me about that. Actually, apparently it's the new cool thing. And,
it is.
And I started it. I'm the first. Well, of course I'm not the first, but they are the future.
George Formby.
George Formby and I, indeed.
Did you know that Jonathan Woodward, your replacement presenter, is a huge ukulele player as well?
I didn't know that. Perhaps we could do a duet in an upcoming week. In an upcoming week. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Do you guys want to see Jonathan Woodward back on the show? Tweet us, message us.
tweet us. Tweet them.
Any final comments in the chat room?
Well, let's have we got any comments?
Vampire Mob says he's got audience members from Belgium and Germany who volunteered to help translate it, just to get it out. Yeah. That's great.
I can't even repeat here what Sloopy John has said.
No, you better not.
About our cousins across the water.
I know Sloppy John's kind of kidding, but
you can go look in Ustream to have a look at what his comments are.
But the Germans and the French, they are important. It is the World Wide Web, isn't it? And it's part of what's making the world smaller. And I think it's a valuable thing. If YouTube is one step ahead of that, then that's great. Wow, we're out of focus. Hello. I guess that'll be the sun going down.
That's the sun going down. We're going to have to switch over to lights for Talking
Who. Indeed, but I think we'll rough it out for a couple of minutes as we wrap up. Guys, I think that's pretty much all we've got time for, but don't forget, let's have one last look at all of our various
shows.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube, at Those Video Guys TV. Follow us on Twitter at Those Video Guys. Where's my hand? Be our friend on Facebook / Those Video Guys.
And what's this thing?
And it's a poodle
It's
in
not,
a fishbowl.
It's Africa.
Those
Now we
Video
put out of
Guys.
focus again because
TV.
whenever you swing your hands, it goes out of focus.
Okay, well, let's keep the hands swinging to a minute.
Video of the week.
Video of the week. Planking.
Planking, correct.
Planking.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get home and try it. I'm gonna have a go.
Sean.
I'd go. Part of me wants to go with Chewbacca.
Yeah.
The Ewoks. But part of me wants to go with Project Rant. Because I just love people
ranting.
having a
rant.
rant.
See,
I also love seeing Chewbacca
get it off your chest.
I think they should use you for one of the Project Rants because I think you'd be very good.
I think you would. I think you've certainly got a lot of rage.
To be quite frank, I think we've got Elazar on there talking about either Torchwood being produced by Americans or Russell T Davies taking credit for creating Sarah Jane. That's what we need.
Very niche.
And my choice for video of the week is I think Sands of Time.
Sands of
Mexico. Sands of Mexico.
Sorry. I was going to say, what was that? Sandsofmexico.net or .com.
Yeah.
It's Elazar's favourite. Check it out. And I actually am going to watch that again, I think, when I get home and enjoy the nuances for the second time. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break.
Yeah.
And in 15 minutes or just over, Sean and Elazar will be back for this week's edition of Talking Who. But for myself, John, from Sean and Elazar, we'll be back next week. So thank you so much for watching. And until next week, we have been Those Video Guys.